My name is Yeonmei Chan. Um, most people call me May. I am a student at Concordia University. I'm in art history and studio arts, and I'm minoring in psychology. And my goal when I graduate is to get into graduate school in art therapy at Concordia.
My name is Yasmin Kalari. I'm currently a student at Dawson College. I'm studying to be in photography. So I'm taking night courses for the moment, and for fall I'll be able to register to the photography program. And I've always had a passion for photography since I was young.
Je m'appelle André Martel, j'ai 39 ans, bientôt 40.
Je suis illustrateur de profession. Ça va faire 1 an et demi de ça. L'illustration, comme tel, comme illustrateur, j'illustre des commandes en fait. C'est comme ça que ça marche. Ou ben non, je peux créer moi-même ma propre commande. Souvent, l'illustrateur va travailler pour des livres et des magazines. On va faire des illustrations pour des articles ou des livres pour enfants ou des livres illustrés. On va aussi faire des affiches pour les graphistes, pour les bureaux de graphistes, ces choses-là.
Are you guys familiar with this area here? So my name is Hoar, Hoar, and I'm an artist.
Mon nom est Gore, je suis un artiste.
So right now I'm twisting strips of paper into string, and that's what this is mostly made out of. And yeah, it's a lot of like really repetitive, boring work, but the results are pretty cool. This is like the portfolio I submitted to grad school, so it's like a selection of the different types of work that I did. These were watercolors that I had done in summer school. So today we're doing an art therapy event. It's Art Therapy Awareness Week. So what we're doing is we have people talking about the different art hives that I volunteer at Studio Saint Sulpice, but we have a craft sale. We're having like crafts that people can participate in. So our table is doing origami, but we're also doing craft sales, whereas the other tables are not. I've always had an interest in art, like since I was a child, but I guess the most recent kind of like point where it was like, yes, this is what I wanted to do is in high school. I discovered what art therapy was, and I decided I would pursue that. But first I gave, like CEGEP a chance, and I did like social sciences for a semester. That didn't work out for me. I didn't like it. I didn't enjoy it. It wasn't me. So I changed to communications at Vanier, and I really enjoyed creating again, because like everything else is like always you read, you study, you write things, but you don't create anything. And I think that was something that I was missing. They were not supportive.
Your parents?
They were the opposite of supportive. They tried to discourage me, but I think it was from fear of me not being successful in life. It was more of a protective kind of discouragement rather than a destructive kind of, way of discouraging me. When you're like 17 years old and you've got this dream of becoming like an art therapist, and the people that are most important for you to have that support, don't support you, it's really difficult. I think my parents' greatest fear in terms of like me being in fine arts is that stereotype that artists don't make money, that they can't find jobs, and they're gonna be like starving for the rest of their life. I'm very persistent and stubborn, so it wasn't that difficult because I really believed in it, you know? I really believe in art therapy. I really believe in creative arts, you know, being able to help people. And I think they've come to understand. It's been quite a few years, but I think they're starting to understand that it's important for me to be able to finish school in this and kind of see what I can do with it. I think the most important thing, like in general, regardless of whether you're in art or psychology or journalism, is to not be afraid. You can't start out being afraid, you know? Because, like, failure hasn't happened yet. You can't be afraid of a failure that has yet to come. And you shouldn't be afraid of failure, because that's how people learn.
Well, ever since I was young, I always liked to take pictures. I just found it was fascinating how when you take a picture of something, it just looks much more prettier than when you're looking at it with your eyes. And yeah, I've always found that very amusing to capture moments and then you can look back at them. A kind of an act of kindness. My dream is to work for National Geographics. I find that really it blows my mind when I see the stuff that they do. At the moment, I'm trying to focus on fashion type of photography, taking portraits, dressing up people and trying to take good pictures. And also, I'm trying to learn how to take good landscape pictures. I've been inspired from photographers. Like on Instagram, I follow a couple of photographers. I've met a few actually, and they've really, they showed me their work, and it just really made me, it kind of made me realize that I'm doing it just for fun, but I could actually do something out of it. I'm kind of looking forward to when I graduate, I'll be able to actually work as a photographer and do my own work and, you know, get known. I'm a little hesitant because like photography, it's a 3-year program. It's like after that you can start working as a photographer, but at the same time my mom kind of wants me to do something other than that, like that's more serious. She considers serious, like being a lawyer or, you know, working in a domain that's more, you know, that pays more, that, you know, that'll be stable for, you know, the rest of my life. I'm getting support from my sister, but I mean, my mom, she's still gonna be like, okay, but like, what are you studying? Like, why are you studying that? Because she kind of, it matters to her. The best advice I was given was like on the work. They would tell me, they would give me good advice on the equipments to buy, on how to set my camera, how to you know, just to figure out, you know, test pictures before I actually take a picture, to take my time to understand like how the camera functions, so not just to go and start snapping pictures. It's going great. I'm working with a photographer, so he's really teaching me a lot of things, like the importance of lighting and all that stuff. And the fact that I worked for him, like he took me in to practice so that I could practice. And when he saw my final work, he really, really liked it, and he told me that, you know, I was qualified like to actually work for him. So that kind of boosted my confidence in it. And I guess if I could work with him, he's a really amazing photographer, then I'd have a chance to actually graduate from the program and find a job.
My name is Perla Muyal, and I'm an academic counselor in the Faculty of Fine Arts. And part of my job is everything that starts with the admission process until students graduate from our faculty. We have approximately 3,000 applicants, all choices, so that's first choice, second choice, and third choice. And then we register approximately 980 students. I think it's probably comparative to all the other humanities programs. So some students actually leave the faculty and do quite well as artists. And some students are totally in different markets after they graduate from here. First of all, I think that all students should begin their bachelor's degree by pursuing their passions. And I think that makes for better success in terms of their academics. So generally students who have fine arts as a first choice, they've already kind of negotiated those things with their families, and the parents are on board, or at least a little bit on board, because they are the ones very often paying the tuition fees. And if they're not the ones paying the tuition fees, then the students are paying their own tuition fees and making their own choices. What I do see is students who chose other programs and other faculties as a first choice because they had been pressured by family expectations, and then come to us because they're struggling or unhappy in their other programs, and they decide to really pursue the fine arts.
Tu vois, ça c'est Colorico, c'est le style de dessin colorié que je veux faire. C'est extrêmement aggloméré, c'est du crowd doodle dans le fond.
En fait, j'ai toujours été artiste de cœur. C'est comme ça que ça vient, je pense. Tu peux pas tout d'un coup avoir envie d'en faire. Je pense que ça traîne en dedans de toi. Puis depuis que je suis tout petit, moi, je dessine sur des chandails, des choses comme ça. Je me faisais des petites bandes dessinées, etc. Ma mère a toujours été très sceptique sur le fait que pour elle, un vrai emploi, c'est genre être plombier, électricien, ces choses-là, parce que tu fais beaucoup d'argent. Puis ça vient sûrement du fait que, écoute, mes deux parents viennent de familles très très pauvres. Pour eux autres, d'avoir un travail qui paye, c'était plus important qu'un travail qui te passionne. Fait que, tu sais, c'est quoi, pour eux autres, tu veux faire du dessin, qu'est-ce que tu veux faire? Mais tu sais, là, je leur ai expliqué, tu sais, du graphisme, il y en a dans tout, tu sais, vraiment partout, à la télé, sur ce que tu bois, ce que tu achètes, tout ce que tu achètes, il y a demande de graphisme, tu sais. Fait que ça, c'était pas... c'est un coup bien expliqué, ma mère l'a très très bien saisi, puis ça a été très bien. Puis je te dirais, un joueur secondaire aussi, c'est ma grand-mère qui a beaucoup aidé, parce que étrangement, malgré son vieil âge, elle est extrêmement ouverte d'esprit. Puis écoute, elle m'a fourni en matériel d'artiste, des choses comme ça. Puis écoute, je suis très redevable de leur façon de penser. Aujourd'hui, ma mère est très fière, mon père aussi.
J'aime beaucoup le contact papier avec l'encre. J'aime beaucoup m'acheter des feutres aussi.
Je te dirais que ce qui m'inspire, c'est surtout la nostalgie. Parce que je suis un gars... il y en a qui disent que j'ai une très bonne mémoire, là, c'est parce que je me rappelle vraiment beaucoup de choses de ma jeunesse, vraiment très très loin. Moi, je suis plus du genre à dire que je traumatise facilement. Fait que je me rappelle de beaucoup d'événements de ma jeunesse, qui ont été très traumatisants. La première fois que tu tombes à vélo, la première fois que tu vas pêcher, puis que bon, tu risques de tomber à l'eau.
J'ai fait des... C'est un mix, là. Les dessins sont pas finis totalement parce que j'ai aussi continué sur Photoshop. Mais j'ai fait beaucoup de... J'ai fait une crèmerie récemment.
Tout le monde se fait payer pour ce qu'ils font. Puis c'est juste de ne pas se faire avoir. Puis pas embarquer dans la routine, dans la gimmick de bon, t'es un artiste, tu me l'as fait, je le fais pour la visibilité. C'est non, la visibilité, ça se paye pas, ça paye pas mon compte d'hydro, ça paye rien. Tu me payes, puis c'est comme ça. Avenir proche, finir mon projet Colorico, qui est un livre à colorier. J'ai eu 10 000 $ de financement dessus, donc j'ai des dettes à rendre. Je suis en couple depuis 13 ans, 14 ans maintenant, avec Cindy qui est ma copine. Je suis vraiment extrêmement chanceux d'avoir Cindy parce que dans le métier que j'essaie de faire, ça prend une grande compréhension de l'autre. Parce que elle, faut que, je veux dire, c'est pas tout le monde qui est apte à comprendre que bon, il va y avoir un petit down à un moment donné, puis on réussit, il faut remonter la pente, là, tu sais.
Doc is a gentleman that passed away, and it's kind of become a memorial wall for him.
Well, I mean, I've been interested in art since a kid. My dad was an artist, so I've been interested in art for a long time. I've been interested in street art and graffiti since about 92, 93.
Moi, je viens d'une famille qui a plein d'artistes un peu ratés. Là. Pas ratés, mais des artistes qui vivent pas de ça. Fait que dans le fond, je me suis tout le temps intéressé à l'art, puis le graffiti, plus quand je suis déménagé à Montréal, j'imagine. Il y a 10 ans.
I mean, in high school, I basically I was kind of a bad kid. I had trouble concentrating on a lot of things, and I was often kicked out of my like geography or math class. And my art teacher, who is an incredible woman, didn't want to see me hang around and doing nothing with myself in the hallways. So she would take me into the art classes and let me draw and paint. Just before my 30th birthday, I had like a midlife crisis and said I gotta go back to school. So I went to university and got my bachelor's in fine arts.
Moi, j'étais au secondaire en art aussi. Le même genre de secondaire que Sean, pas mal, j'ai l'impression, là. Que je me suis retrouvé en art parce qu'il y a personne d'autre. Je peux pas aller ailleurs, en gros. Puis, j'ai fait mon cégep en arts et lettres, que j'ai pas terminé. J'étais allé à l'université en art, que j'ai pas plus terminé. Je suis le gars qui a pas fini l'école, en gros.
My family is actually really encouraging for the most part. I think they were happy that I made a decision as to what I should do, and they were happy that I decided to do something with I guess a talent that I have. So instead of just like treating my talent as a hobby, I kind of took it seriously. So I think they were actually really happy for that.
Moi non plus, là. En gros, j'avais le droit de faire pas mal qu'est-ce que je voulais dans la vie.
At one point, when I started doing more and more graffiti, starting to see what, you know, how some people were charging for canvases and charging for artwork, and here I was just putting my stuff out in the streets for free like a dirty whore. I didn't want to go with the straight up WHORE to make it too obvious, and then looking around, ended up finding out the word whore, H-O-A-R, is actually a word that was used in the Bible and stuff like that. So I was like, that's perfect. Bang, there it is.
En gros, je peinturais des ratons laveurs, puis je me trouvais bien drôle, puis je trouvais que les ratons laveurs, c'était les rois de Rosemont. Ok, King of Rosemont, mais genre, je connaissais comme pas grand-chose au monde du graffiti, genre les règles, puis les trucs comme ça.
We tried for like maybe 2 nights to figure out a name for ourselves, and then it was just like, fuck it, let's just put our 2 names together and be horrorcore. We paint as a team, so there's that camaraderie, there's the friendship, there's the bantering back and forth. We have a pretty brother-like relationship where we could piss each other off, we could laugh together, we could make fun of each other, we could enjoy each other. I mean, for graffiti, it's kind of one of those things that, you know, like anybody can do it, anybody can grab a spray can, but to actually learn it, there's no books about it, there's no courses on it, so it's through shared knowledge, you know. People showed me, and so it's kind of like, I don't know, kind of maybe my responsibility now to show others. So we've been working with kids a lot.
Je sais pas, aussi en peinturant, à un moment donné, il y a comme un bout que là, tu peux faire toutes les lignes que tu veux, il marche. Tu sais. C'est comme, je sais pas, c'est un moment, là, t'as un 5 minutes que genre là, t'es le meilleur peintre au monde pendant 5 minutes. Puis genre, c'est tellement le fun.
Don't listen to anybody. Listen to yourself. You're the only person that's going to make up your mind. You're the only person that's going to live your life. So do what you need to do to make yourself happy. If art is going to make you happy, then make art. Like, just do it. Don't let anybody get in your way.